Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Mario Kart. Hey, how's it going? We're playing more Chrono Trigger. We are hunting for more endings. I don't want it to be over, but it's going to be over soon. James, welcome. Congratulations on being the first chatter. Mr. Temper, congrats on Arithmetician. If you had Virtual Boy on your Nintendo Direct bingo card today, you are a lying liar who lies. I love it. That my jaw hit the floor. It did. I had to pick it up, and I shattered the linoleum. I did. I was not. I was absolutely not expecting a Virtual Boy. You know, some of the things you expect for, like, hey, it's a new system. We're gonna get big first party stuff rolling out. Okay, like a new Yoshi platformer. Awesome. I'm excited for that. Dragon Quest VII reimagined. I love that. I love that. I love that Square Enix calls Final Fantasy VII Remake a remake, even though it's a reimagining. And then they call Dragon Quest VII a reimagining, even though it's clearly a remake. It's just, what is going on at Square Enix? That joke came courtesy of, I think I saw it was the guy, Night Sky was on Twitter saying that, or on X, beg your pardon. But that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, new Fire Emblem. You know, you expect stuff like that. I expected a lot for Mario 40. That's tomorrow. Happy birthday! Well done, Mario. Hee woohoo! Yeah, woo, wah. You know, you expect that sort of thing. And it was cool. I really wanted to see. I was surprised by the movie announcement. I was. But I really wanted to see a new Mario 3D platformer. Certainly, in the vein of like a Mario Odyssey. Hey, Mario Odyssey 2. It's right there. It's in the lore. But alas, we didn't get that today. But there were quite a few announcements. I'm not super up on Resident Evil, so I don't know if that was like a new one or a remake of one. Clearly a lot of remakes, a lot of ports. Which, you know, some people complain about, but then at the same time, you also hear people complaining about how Nintendo doesn't preserve its history. So, pick a lane. Remake equals reimagining. Nah, I wish. I mean, in the case of Dragon Quest VII, absolutely. But yeah, if you played Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, those are not conventional remakes. That's straight up. I've heard requel, like a remake sequel. I've heard people be like, well, it's literally a remake because they remade it into something totally different. So I've heard that line of argument too. Okay, Tata, give me the thing. Give me the badge. This is what I missed last time. We need to get this, and then we need to go and fight Lavos. As a game, Remake is not bad. I mean, I thought there's some cool stuff. Like, there's really sensationalist, bullet spongy action bosses, which is something that modern gaming seems obsessed with. But, you know, I think all the... I mean, you don't like 7 to start, but all the best stuff in it is the adapting of stuff from the original 7, and then that makes the things that they made up for this version stand out all the more. Metroid 4 getting a release date. I don't know if that was announced previously. A couple indies on there that I'll check out. I really liked Hades 1, so I would definitely peep Hades 2. I thought you hated 7. Weren't you one of those who are like, I hope 7, you know, stubs its toe on a steamroller or something like that? Or maybe that was just typical Mr. Temper hyperbole. James said, yes, a reminder for you from yesterday. Don't remember what specifically it was. I think it was the medal. Yes. So we needed to get the medal. Oh, I put that on you. It's too bad this isn't all on recording and could be used for blackmail. Just saying. Okay, we got the medal. We are good to Julian. Let me just double check. I don't think it shows up in here. No, see, there are things right there, key items, but I think the medal is actually an accessory. Let's see. There it is. Hero Metal ups critical hit rate of the Masamune. Okay, I need to double check before we start fighting Lavos. So this is exactly what we need. Okay, beat Lavos. All right, beat Lavos after you get the Hero Medal before visiting 65 million BC for the first time to get Dreamstone. Okay, so we need to do that now. That was exactly what needed to happen. Bum 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 dib doo. I think that's me that disliked what they did to 7. My stance has calmed down over the years, but I still dislike. Yeah, I mean, I used to think remake was a travesty, and it is. But maybe someday we'll get an actual remake of Final Fantasy VII instead of like some kind of bizarre meta sequel. I don't know. It's such a weird approach. I wish they called it anything but Final Fantasy VII Remake. You know, call it what it is. Call it Final Fantasy VII Reimagining. Something. Anyway, been down that road many times. Hey, y'all, where the white mages at? How's it going, Krypton? Welcome to our 4th Lavos fight, I think. Weird Fantasy 7. I guess. Krypton, how are you? Thanks for popping in. We're ready to go. And the shell is going to be open, so we're good. I like that if you fight Lavos from the bucket here, that you don't have to fight the shell again. We could just skip straight to the second form. That's where it's at. It really is. Anyway, I hope all of you are staying healthy and hale, and that includes physically as well as mentally. Things have been very disturbing on socials recently. This morning I heard the governor of Utah say social media is a cancer, and I can agree with that. I use it as a way to promote my brand and my work, my writing. I've made really awesome friendships on there. I can promote my streams on there, but wow, of late things have just been absolutely bonkers. So I just wanted to mention this to encourage you. If you're feeling like just a constant stream of rage, it could be social media. Taking up regular breaks from social media is super good stuff. You should try it. I try to take breaks on weekends. I try and not get on the computer at all. And I'll try and just... Okay, now for this battle, I think I actually just need to use barriers, because I don't think he really uses physical attacks here. Second form definitely does, though. So... but yeah, if you're feeling gross, maybe take a break. Social media allowed for discourse without consequences, so it's inevitable things will get crazy and angry. And it speaks to human nature, I think. Like, regardless of what your views are on, anthropology from a scientific or religious perspective, but there's definitely some objective evil out there. And it's like you're exposed to it on your phone or on your computer right away, and it's pretty shocking, honestly. Speaking of shocking, let's do some shock. Yo, what's up, Mappy Man? Hey, thanks for the Pokemon Go gifts. I appreciate it. If you're out there and you're playing Pokemon Go, friend me on Pokemon Go. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to play baby games. If they're fun, if a game is fun, I will play that game. That's my line in the sand. It's pretty easy. It's pretty basic, honestly. If the game's good, I'll play it. Fast Track to Super Friends, which is an amazing show. Super Friends, starring Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman, and the Wonder Twins with their space monkey Gleek. You might not be old enough to get that, but you should. You should watch Super Friends. It's how I learned not to run with scissors, and that the Legion of Doom is evil. Terrible people. Twitch and YouTube are all I use, but even YouTube is getting crazy. It is, yeah. I tend to avoid I tend to avoid a lot of like entrenched like career YouTubers, and that steers me pretty well. I enjoy watching YouTube for documentaries and reports and things like that, or music. There are some amazing artists on YouTube, but you know, eventually you watch a video and you're like, I've seen a person talking directly into a webcam in front of a standard house background too many times today. Solomon Grundy want pants too. Oh, that is an old... Was that an old Cartoon Network reference right there? Dang. Dang, I say. Quite old, yes. Quite old. That's a good one, though. Uh-oh. That's bad. See, and I can't hit myself here. But he does like this stink breath thing that'll get rid of it. Yeah, right there. Social media is exhausting. I gotta agree, James. Gotta agree. So yeah, take frequent breaks. You can't really win arguments on social media. There's a lot there. If somebody's gonna come out and say something that is like actually heinous, you're not gonna convince them that it's not heinous. So it's rough. It's rough. Lately, I've been pretty disturbed and outraged and all kinds of things. I mean, for the past several weeks, and it's hard to not let that come out into one's content and one's behavior online. And that was a big struggle for me during COVID. There was a lot that my family went through, that I went through, disagreements with friends, and it's hard. I mean, the modern life, there's a lot wanting to skew you in certain directions. American safari animal videos. I can respect that. Okay, this is looking real weird to me for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Like, what's going on here? I don't know. Hopefully that kind of helps it a little bit. Final Fantasy VIII is heinous. Well, it's not great. I'll tell you that. I'll go that far. It's not spectacular. Okay, let's see here. We could probably stand to keep some stuff before you start questioning why. Yeah. And the way that YouTube works too, like, excuse me, I have to reset, beg your pardon, my search history often. Mostly because I'll watch like one thing out of curiosity, and then the YouTube algorithm is like, oh, you only want to see this from now on forever. I'll be like, no, actually, I don't want to watch, you know, crazy domino videos endlessly. I'd love to see what else you have, you know. But then the terrible part is you reset your you reset your search history, and then all this, or your watch history even. You reset that, and then they're like, oh, maybe you'd love to watch these like super wealthy families like drop crackers out of a 747 for no reason and see how many they can catch in their mouth. Like, I'd rather watch almost anything else, thank you. Oh, you actually can, yeah. Resetting search history and resetting watch history is super great, because sometimes the algorithm will get locked into something. You're just like, get me out of this whirlpool of insanity. Nintendo Direct. Marching band cat video? Okay, let me see what else. So yeah, I thought the Nintendo Direct was really cool. I'm super glad that there's a lot of announcements for Mario. I'm one who thinks that the Mario series is completely unlike a lot of video game series in that there are a ton of games in that series, and Mario has enjoyed unprecedented levels of continual quality. It's kind of mind-blowing. You know, I mean, so many series kind of fall off the rails at various points. But Mario is just up there, still just churning out bangers. Now that doesn't mean I'm in a rush to play like a new Mario Tennis game. When that rolled out, I was like, seriously. And then Nintendo, in typical Nintendo fashion, is like, you know, let us over-explain how rackets work in this tennis game. I'm like, I'd get on to literally anything else. But I get that, you know, they sell a lot of games to casuals, and that's just the way it is. There's no right or wrong about that. It's not something I'd moralize or not. It's just a fact. Hey, thanks for the follow, Sinister Badger. Sinister Badger. Yeah, I appreciate the follow. Thanks very much. We're just talking about the Nintendo Direct right now. I like the idea of remakes making games that were locked in the past more accessible. So, like I said earlier, the biggest surprise for me was the Virtual Boy. Which I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I was not expecting at all. At all. So that one was a complete surprise. Yeah. No Waterworld game. Can you believe it? Or are you talking about the Super Nintendo Waterworld game? What else was a surprise? Like Fire Emblem, yeah, I really liked the look of the Yoshi game. I like stuff like that. There were a lot of very questionable looking life sims. Like that, was it Tamagotchi Life? Something like that, where they're like, wouldn't you like to listen to this voice forever? And I was like, actually, I'd rather not. Seems like it's very much trying to be a meme. Uh-oh, this may kill... Okay, no, we made it. We made it. We're good. Came out on the other end. Okay, so... yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's hop over there. I always get nervous switching characters, because you never know what could happen. You don't. You really don't know. See, I don't remember a Virtual Boy Waterworld game. I do remember Wario Land, and I've gone on record saying that Wario Land is one of the best platformers in that era. It is so good. I loved that game. And I'm really glad that people will be able to access it fairly easily. You know, they're still charging folk for it, but if you're really curious, obviously you can always emu that. So that, I don't know anything about Fatal Frame either, so that was a remake of the second one. I'm definitely interested in playing Hades 2. Really loved the first one. It was a game that saved the roguelite genre for me. I honestly think that is such a fantastic game. Can I say fantastic one more time? You too, you can take that there. See, when are we gonna get a Lord of the Rings farm sim? Yeah, they made that that Hobbit Tales from the Shire thing, but it didn't look that great to me. And a couple people who played it were like, this needs another year in the tank. Do a Wario voice? I'm gonna win. Have a rotten day. There you go. That's my Wario voice. If you've never seen, there's a great video of Charles Martinet doing the Wario voice, the Mario voice, and the Luigi voice while like traveling the world, and he's carrying around like some figurines of the characters. It's so great. It's so great.
Look, Mario, it's a cow. Oh, my bro, no, that's a horsey. Oh, hello, horsey.
It's It's so good. It warms my heart every time I watch that video now and then. Cap Supreme, how's it going? Yeah, the headset. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And it is, once again, too expensive to buy. So they made the same mistake twice. But you know what? It's still cool. It's still really cool. I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get the thing or anything like that. I think you could still play those on your television. So, hopefully, because I would love to do exactly that. Come on, give it to me. Okay, now what we're gonna do is take out this left one here. There we go. And then that should let him keep this drop. Cap Supreme, though, how you doing today?
How you doing?
And Sinister Badger, I thanked you for following. I appreciate it. Is this really your first time popping in here? For our little hijinks, our little stuff that we do? Are we familiar with the... Sinister Badger, the name looks super familiar, though. I think you and I are familiar with each other from X. I'm going to go on a limb and say it. I just want an opportunity to introduce myself. That's all. Okay, let's see. I see Nintendo Direct has abandoned the ukulele whistle. Oh, I like the ukulele whistle. What is an ukulele whistle? That being a stringed instrument, of course. I did not make a Nintendo Direct bingo card. I know a couple people who did. Mine would have just been one block that says Chrono Trigger port. Authentic Chrono Trigger port. I don't know. I mean, the year's running out. And I don't know if Square plans to do anything about the Chrono Trigger 30th anniversary this year. I believe they made an announcement earlier in the year about how they have things planned beyond the world of the game. Not exactly sure what that means, but neat, I guess. You hear the strums of an ukulele and someone's whistling. Oh, okay. It's not like that Animal Crossing. Is it? It's not like that. Oh man, if only Chrono had Provoke. That would be really cool. Let's see, what do we have here? Ice Tackle, sure. Flooding made made things extra humid. That sucks. Oh yeah, I forgot he put his defense up. Whoops. My bad. I hope your humidity lowers sometime soon. I was like, I don't know how to wish somebody to have better humidity, but I wish that you would have better humidity. I said it. I hope you get into some significant AC at some point. Let's see here. Oh, that's it. He's done. Okay. Sounds like mobile game talk. Put that music in every indie farm and life sim trailer in Nintendo Directs. I gotta go back and watch. Yeah, like, I'm a little worried if they're like, hey, we're working really hard on a Chrono Trigger thing. I'm like, how hard are you working? You might be working too hard. I just want, just release Chrono Trigger in working condition without bad load times, with a combination of Super NES and DS content. That's really all I ask. All right, I guess this is a different ending. Now we're hearing the Epoch music. Couple of art renders. It's possible. It's possible. Oh, here's stuff. Yeah, we made it. Call my freezer like a frosty vampire. Why is that hyperbole, though? That's exactly what you should do. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, it's weird, right? Like they're so focused on 7 to the detriment of just about everything else. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that we're getting a reimagining of Dragon Quest VII. I'm glad that there's a remake of Final Fantasy Tactics. But there's a lot of legacy content that both Square and Enix are sitting on as Square Enix now. Not really sure what to make of this ending. Like, so far we've kind of, you know, narratively framed every ending and then been confused by some of them. But in this instance, we've never even been to prehistory, so I guess it's just kind of showing us that there's like a war between the cavemen and the reptites. That's because 7, 8, 9, as always, Hole Mole in with a perfect entrance. Well done. 10 out of 10. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right, Mr. Temper? Like, the original 7 sold well. Sure. But it continues to sell well because that's continually what they sell. You know what I mean? Self-fulfilling prophecy. If they invested more into other stuff, yeah, they could sell it. So a lot of people remember Squaresoft for a ton of legacy franchises. Now, I don't think their output is terrible, but it could definitely be better, you know? Turn-based pixel Final Fantasy. I would love to see that just to watch people's brains melt. You know, the people out there, like, I've seen people say Silksong doesn't count as a video game. How far out of your dang mind do you have to be in your little AAA echo chamber to be like, this does feel, yeah, it feels like regular closing credits. This doesn't really feel like a true ending. I've seen people call Silksong slop. I've seen lots of people say nobody's interested in turn-based anymore, when there's plenty of great selling turn-based series and games. The best-selling RPG series of all time is a turn-based series. I bet you haven't heard of it before. It's called Pokemon. Robo, no, is lost in the darkness. Yeah. Well, that was a so-so ending. It really was. I did not remember that one. And honestly, I'm not even excited for Kingdom Hearts 4. I didn't even finish Kingdom Hearts 3. I started playing it, I was just like, I don't know, you guys. I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, you just put the skibbity into doobop, and then you blah-blah-blah, nobody business. And like, what? And they're like, oh, you didn't play the 13 side games in between this one and Kingdom Hearts 2? I'm like, no. Were they available everywhere? And they're like, yes. If you lived in Japan and owned Pogs made in the 1980s. And I was like, to count me out. Count me out. Couldn't do it. Anyway, that was our 4th ending, I guess. That was pretty disappointing. Next, we are going to do... okay, so I guess that was showing things that we missed out on with characters that we did not get. Next one is People of the Times. People of the Times is kind of weird. Beat Lavos after you return from your first trip to 65 million BC with the gate key before giving the Masamune to Frog. This ending is probably the worst of the bunch. Nice. Okay, let's just go ahead and rush it, I guess. Over-reliant on between games to understand. Yeah, it almost felt like a commercial to me for... It felt like a commercial. Oh, no, we changed to green. I like it blue. Oh, we're going to go blue. Blue. There we go. Contrast. Yeah, to me it felt like a commercial for the in-between games. Let's see. We need to go to... we got the Hero's Medal. Oh, we need to go speak with Frog to get the Masamune. And I get, like, they're trying to tell this big, multi-layered story with Kingdom Hearts, but I'll say this. The story of Kingdom Hearts is not that interesting. It's a mess, and it's overly complex, and it confuses being complex with being profound, I think. It's also unnecessarily melodramatic in, like, a preteen sense, where, like, when you're graduating high school and you're like, we'll be friends forever, and then you grow up and you're like, you're not even going to call each other on the weekends. That's the kind of vibe that I get from Kingdom Hearts. And don't get me wrong, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is still one of my favorite games of all time. Really enjoy that game. But it embraces the levity of, hey, Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters and original characters all in one thing. Isn't that cool? And you know what? It is cool. And that's it. I didn't need some kind of bizarre metaphysical story that would cut across millennia. That's ridiculous. Anyway, that's my rant about Chrono Trigger. Or Chrono Trigger. Whew, Kingdom Hearts for the day. You're welcome. First one's free. He hath returned the hero medal. Make sure we get this. Also, commercial for Frozen. It also, you know, helps that I think Kingdom Hearts 1 definitely relies on a lot of classic Disney stuff. But modern Disney is just not that great. So when they ran out of the classic stuff, it's like, well, I'm not that excited, honestly. Really not. Bring back Disney Renaissance. Boom, 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 boom. We crossed that off the list for the day. How's it going, Dan? I'm just surprised you folks come back every single day for this stuff. Like, I don't know why. I will keep making strongly worded statements until you stop. But no, just kidding. These are real opinions. They're real opinions from real gamers. Maybe that's it. It's anything but simple and clean. Nice. Nice. No, yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is great. Kingdom Hearts 2 to a less extent. Kingdom Hearts 2 is where it starts to get messy. Played Chain of Memories and was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. But just as like a novelty of like, hey, Disney Final Fantasy crossover. But then yeah, when you get to Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, hey, Pixar, but there's no Final Fantasy characters? That's weird. Aristocats world. I can't wait for the Song of the South world. Okay, now let's go to Medina Village. Old man gamer, excuse me, I am in my prime. No, yeah, I get it. It's weird when you realize that you're no longer the demographic that this industry cares about. You know, you're outside of the main marketing core. And that's all right. That's fine. Song of the South world, yeah. Star Wars world? Oh, yeah, what if they go full on, like, well, we ran out of properties, so let's get to the ones that we stole. So you have Muppet World, and Star Wars World, and Marvel World, and Stand in Line in Florida World. Do you know what I'm talking about, Song of the South world? Well, zippity-doo-dah to you, too. Okay, right here. He says,
I doubt that you'll ever find the red stone, but if you bring some to me, I will fix the Masamune. Keep the sword with you until then.
Okay, did he really doubt? He barely gave us any information about it at all. Does he know the capacity to which we can travel through time? Why didn't he recognize us? Because we let him go before. Marvel Kingdom Hearts World, that's just Fortnite, basically. Fighting the darkness. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, dang. You had to go there, Mole. You had to go there. Oof. What else is there? They could do a Black Cauldron world. Yeah, scraping the bottom of the barrel here. A Bed Knobs and Broomsticks world. I guess if we're going to live action. Herbie world. Coffee is the greatest beverage of all time. Actually, right now I'm drinking homemade lemonade. It's pretty good. The Great Mouse Detective World. Oh, have they done a Rescuers world? Right, yeah. Let's just pretend that didn't exist world. Oh, yeah, Ayla's theme. So when I was a kid, I didn't really appreciate Ayla that much. I don't know. The older I get, the more I'm like, Ayla faces the world like I would like to. She just flies in, kicks butt, and leaves. Yeah, like Rescuers Down Under. That movie's rocks. That movie's great. It's towards the end, I think, of great Disneydom. But it's a good movie. I could still see, like, a lot of the imagery from that. Okay, now we were going to name her Aoki after the producer, so that we get more Dream Team references in here. Me, Aoki. Chip and Dale's Rescue Ranger World. Tailspin World. Now we're going in the cartoon direction, huh? You could totally see that, like, for a spin-off or something where they could just use, like, the Disney Afternoon worlds. I guess it begs the question, though, how many of those worlds are actually the same world, you know? Darkwing Duck is so good. So good. I was watching DuckTales the other day with my kids. They love it. They love it. And they're learning more about the economy. It's a win-win situation. The first Rescuers is a pretty dark film. I mean, the Rescuers Down Under is a pretty dark film as well. Okay, we got Berserker. I would like to just put that on Ayla and call it a day. Maybe I'll put it on Chrono and call it a day. Slumdog Millionaire? Didn't Disney buy Fox too, so you could have a Simpsons world? Ugh, based on the live action remakes. Why is the world like this? Why? I get, like, you know, nobody really asked for live action remakes, but, like, you know, they put them out because it's easy money, but there's no... And sometimes I'll ask this, like I was talking about the PlayStation 6, you know, rumors recently, and I was like, why make a PlayStation 6? And somebody was just like, money. Actually, like, several people were just like, money. And I get that, but at the same time, it's like, that assumes that there's a guarantee that we will automatically buy it. Which is bad. If we're there at a society already where a company could put out anything and you will buy it, that's eating indiscriminately, is what it is. You are Kronos eating his own children, is what you are. You will eat a stone thinking it's a child. Like, that is the maximum. And someday a company will come up in your sleep and cut your guts open and pull the kids out. That's exactly... We're going there with mythological analogies for the way that corporations predate on consumers. But if you will buy anything, you deserve to be predated on by corporations. I'm going to go out there. What am I talking about? Read a book. Gosh darn it. Food, give me food. They also own the U.S. distribution rights to the 1993 Mario Bros. Movie. Oh, boy. Yeah. Now we're talking. Could you imagine the lawsuits if Mario just shows up one day in Mario just shows up one day in Kingdom Hearts and Nintendo doesn't hear about it until it happens? He's a negative Nancy. Oh yeah, they would have to AI Bob Hoskins, wouldn't they? It's not like Disney has any qualms about using computers to resurrect dead actors, unfortunately. Okay, time to go. Here's your the red rock dreamstone. That's your other sign that this is a Final Fantasy. I've actually had people tell me it's not a Final Fantasy because there's no magic crystal. I was like, it's right there. It's literally a mystic crystal that reacts to Lavos, according to Cross, and they made the Masamune out of it, Masa and Mune. I think a sound-alike would be good. I'm always kind of surprised whenever I hear Bob Hoskins speak in old interviews. I always forget that he has an accent. And, I've seen him mostly in Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the Mario movie. And totally bought that, that he was, like an East Coast detective or plumber. Totally bought it. Yeah. That's one that surprises me. Gillian Anderson speaking with a British accent surprises me. Stuff like that. Every once in a while, you're like, oh, this is not the actor's real voice. Imagine if, like, in old interviews of Sean Connery, instead of being like, well, my favorite thing was when I was playing Bond, and I said shaken, not stirred. Imagine if he was just like,
I like playing as Bond. That was my favorite thing when I used to say shaken, not stirred.
That would be weird. That would be very strange. Okay, so sure, we'll roll with this team. The Blondes. Okay, and then let's make sure that we equip Ayla here. Now, what are we talking about? Like a remake of this? Or are we talking about, are we still talking about a Kingdom Hearts Super Mario Bros. 1993 world? Red, here's a question for you. What does Chrono Trigger need in 2025 and onward? A port, remake, release, nothing. Goal would be to introduce it to a new audience. Best way to introduce the game to a new audience, in my view, is I'm sorry, I drew a blank. Is giving it an authentic port. You can call that a remake, a remaster, whatever you want to call it. Do not fundamentally change it, especially now that the Dream Team is fundamentally broken. You cannot reassemble the Dream Team anymore. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. And since he can't do that, like, leave it be. That's my view. You may disagree. That's fine. You're welcome to. Because in a free society, we should be able to disagree without violence. And yeah, I think that if you want people to fall in love with Chrono Trigger, then play Chrono Trigger. It's really that simple. Don't change it into something it's not, and then expect people will like Chrono Trigger, because you've already changed it into something it's not. It's a basic, logical statement. That's my view. I think that would be great, and then couple it with, Chrono Trigger has a really interesting development history. So couple it with development notes, interviews, concept arts, make it a whole collection, Put some effort into it. But I would really love to see a combo Super NES DS version of this game. I don't want to see it try and stuffed into the pixel remaster setting. I definitely don't want them to slap a trendy fad all over this thing and call it a day. I don't want to see an HD 2D. I think the fan art has been really interesting, but Chrono Trigger is beautiful as is. You know, you could take this and say spruce it up a little bit more if you wanted to. You know, make the shadows a little more transparent, whatever. You know, that's a remaster. But I don't see any reason to fundamentally change this. And the only reason that I've ever received from fans as to why you should fundamentally change it is because they're curious. They just want to see it. And that's fine. Nobody can take that away from them. You know, wanting to see something. But I don't think that's a good reason to ask Square Enix, of all companies, to go around messing with dinosaur DNA. You know, they already made Jurassic Park. You saw how that turned out. Ever heard Jim Neighbors sing? The name rings a bell, but I don't know. You want to debate the difference between a remake and a reimagining? Well, what's your premise? I'll be happy to debate you if I disagree. I'd be okay with a pixel remaster version of Chrono Trigger, especially if you have the option to turn the effect off and on. See, that would be cool. And I think Final Fantasy Tactics is a good example. Some remakes, they'll release the original game with it. I think that's really cool. One of my favorite versions of that is the game Another World, where you can toggle the new version on and off mid-game at any time with a click of a button. That's really, really rad. What I would not want to see is some kind of weird philosophy for what a remaster for this should be. Like, God forbid they go sprite smoothing, like some of the mobile version. Blech. Don't want to see that. A digital museum would be awesome. How would I feel about keeping this art style but adding more frames of animation? That would be interesting. I think keeping the art style is crucial. I really do. But yeah, I don't know. Additional sprites. I just wouldn't want to mess with it. It's too easy to look at Chrono Trigger and be like, hey, this would look cool if you made it look like, and then you just pick a different game. I've heard like, hey, make it look like Trials of Mana. Hey, make it look like Octopath Traveler. Hey, make it look like Pixel Remasters. Hey, make it look like Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I'm like, how about you make it look like Chrono Trigger? Because that's what it is. It's super basic. I think the remaster approach is the best thing for this game. Wouldn't add anything more. Yeah, be very careful what you add, because this is a very finely balanced game. I think there's excellent evidence for that. Don't have a premise. I'm just trying to spark an argument. Oh, okay. There is a difference. That would be my premise. There is a difference between a remake and a reimagining. I don't know if that's controversial or not. I don't know. Yeah, the Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles approach, I think is good. It does not go too far. I'm also kind of like, I don't think this needs voice acting. I tend to think JRPG voice acting is not that great. And that's coming from somebody who is a part of a voice acting project for this game. But we're not going to worry about all the items. But obviously that's a fun fan project. So let's see. Jim Neighbors is an actor who plays Gomer Pyle. His singing voice sounds like the opposite of Gomer Pyle. Who's Gomer Pyle? Yeah, and a hot swap between two versions implies that those versions are similar enough to do that. I think if you took this and then had like a fully 3D Trials of Mana style remake, you couldn't jump between those so easily because they're like dramatically different. Remake, full graphical overhaul, and additional content. And then actually, James, you gave my definition of a remaster, which is slight graphics update and extra content. I think that's what a remaster is. I think Square Enix has it backwards, right? Where Final Fantasy VII Remake is a reimagining, and Dragon Quest VII Reimagining is a remake. A reimagining, though, I would say, is something that fundamentally changes the game, either in its gameplay or its story, or both. Final Fantasy VII Remake does exactly that. It changes the story for sure. Absolutely. I mean, I met people who are like, the story in Final Fantasy VII Remake is identical, and I was like, you're yeah, that's wild. So would the Final Fantasy GBA games be considered a reimagining or remaster? I would call those a remaster. I would say the Pixel remasters are remasters. I would say that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a reimagining. And I would say that... let me try and think of a remake. Trials of Mana is a remake. I hate agreeing with Red, but he makes sense on this. I know, see, that's the great thing, is if you agree with me, you're usually right. It's good. You should get used to it. Hang around more, you might agree with me. What kind of comment is that? I hate agreeing with Red. Let me try to think of other examples here. Oh, okay. So, maybe I could put it just in terms of the Super Marios. So I would say that the Mario Galaxy games that they announced today for Nintendo Switch 2, I would count those as remasters. I would say the Mario RPG game that they released recently for Switch is a remake, because they've fundamentally changed, a lot of graphics and stuff like that. I don't think they changed the story, but even that is kind of extreme because Nintendo tends to be really authentic with their re-releases. I cannot think of a reimagining in a Mario context. Maybe like a reimagining in a Mario context would be like Mario Kart World using race tracks from like Super Mario Kart. Yeah, I think too, here's a key part of this conversation. I don't see too many people mention this all that often. I think a key part of the conversation is that we have to acknowledge that these are both words that mean something individually, but they're also industry terms that have a precedent, right? So when we say remaster, like the word remaster literally means something, but remaster in the industry context also has a very specific precedent meaning. So if you say, hey, this is a remaster of Super Mario Bros. 3, but you've changed it into a first-person shooter, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it makes sense based on the precedent either. You know the best way to do Chrono Trigger in 2025, hands down? It's this right here. This is the way to do it. You play Chrono Trigger. No, what is it? I would be happy to hear it. It's sort of like to what I was just saying, James, with the terms themselves having literal meaning, but also precedent meaning in an industry context. It's sort of like with RPGs. Like RPGs, the words "art role-playing game" have a literal meaning, but the genre is not literally any game in which you play a role. Otherwise, Super Mario Bros. 3 is an RPG, which makes no sense. And if you're going to go that route, then you've chosen anarchy. Linguistic anarchy is the term that I've used. So we're getting into video game denominations. See, and this my friends, this is why I love streaming. We get to talk about high topics. We get to talk about definitions. We get to talk about these things. I love talking about this stuff. Hope you do, because I sure enjoy it. Okay, clearly what Chrono Trigger needs in 2025 is a totally brand new game remade in Unreal Engine 5 with at least 5 new characters, and the main protagonist's story is locked behind paid DLC. The game also needs competitive online multiplayer and a live service content drip model and integration with Fortnite. You definitely need integration with Fortnite so that you can bring in your custom characters from there to Chrono Trigger. You can beat Lavos as the Banana Man from Fortnite just as Square was intended. I almost had a stroke just reading that. Remaster in the audio sense doesn't really apply to games anyway. Yeah. And because that's a different context, right? Remastering audio. Even remastering video. You could use remastering in like a physical sense of like a kinetic skill that you're relearning or re-rehearsing. But like those things mean different things in different contexts. So that I think is an important thing for understanding gaming and gaming terminology. Okay, let's see here. I think this is time for our 5th Lavos encounter. Beat Lavos after you return from your first trip with the gate key before giving the Masamune to Frog. This ending is probably the worst out of the bunch. Okay, so before giving the Masamune to Frog, which means we need to get the Masamune. But let me go ahead and save here. We'll have, what's-his-face rebuild it first. Oh, Mega Man FPS. I wonder if they'd waited a little bit, if that could have been more like Metroid Prime. I'm not one to really enjoy too many first-person shooters, but I think that I like Metroid Prime because there's less emphasis on... oh yeah, Robo helps this time. I'm not one to really enjoy too many first-person shooters, but I think that I like Metroid... Hey, are we back? Y'all can hear me? Let me know if you... Hey, are we back? Y'all can hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Hey, testing, testing. Anybody hear me? Ha, ha, Okay, we should be back. If Twitch is also giving you a problem, you could check out YouTube. Don't let Twitch know I said that. Okay, we're still going. It's showing that I'm still connected on my end, so hopefully y'all can hear me. If you can't hear me, I don't know what to tell you. It's showing